Welcome to Pro Practice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode is based on Chopin Etude, Opus 10, number 2. We're tackling the Beast today. This is the hardest Chopin Etude, in my opinion, by a long shot. Mostly because you're playing the whole thing with 3, 4, and 5 on top. And then you got to play these chords. I've heard from some people that big hands are more difficult. It's more difficult to play this piece with big hands. I think it was something about Rachmaninoff that had a difficult time with this, from what I've heard. I've also heard from other pianists I respect greatly. In their performances, they said, if I had smaller hands, it'd be easier to kind of navigate around. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have noticed I have huge hands, and I have never struggled with a piece so much in my life as this one. And that's including like Gaspard de la Nuit by Ravel, Rachmaninoff Third Concerto, Second Concerto, Paganini Variations, all the other Chopin Etudes. Even this one, the reason the thirds I struggled with so much as well, because you're playing the whole thing with 3, 4, 5 on top there too. So I asked one of my friends, I said, how do you practice Opus 10 number 2? And he said, I practice Opus 25 number 6. And I said, well, how do you practice Opus 25 number 6? And he said, I practice Opus 10 number 2. I'm like, well, you play them amazingly. That's not very helpful advice. So having struggled with this for so long, though, I do have quite a few insights into how you can get it better. I used to not be able to play it faster than... First of all, I was playing way too loud, but now... And it's always a work in progress for me. Realize that some of my pro practice videos I'm an expert at, like Winter Wind Etude. Like I've played that for 15 years and entered it in some of the world's biggest competitions. This one I wouldn't dare even perform on a recital yet. So you're going to get a lot of those insights as to how I'm working on it. I'm also going to go through, I think the biggest challenge of this piece is the fingering, knowing where to put which finger. And I'm going to go through, I've meticulously gone through the Mikuli, Paderewski, and Friedheim editions and compared all three and kind of figured out what fingering I like the very best. So having said that, let's dive in. Let's just start with some fingering. I'm just going to go through the first two lines, okay? So let's just go through the top. By the way, I never saw such great progress until I started doing that type of practice. Oh, gosh, horrible. Okay, and then when you put it back in, it works a lot easier. Otherwise, you're sometimes getting locked into that tension. I'll go over an exercise in just a minute after we go through this fingering. 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, and then I personally just go, I cheat, and I just take this in the left hand. No one will notice that. If you're doing things like this, people will notice that, but this you can do. So I do 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. Okay? Left hand, you could do, if you don't want to take this whole first chord in the right hand, you could do just 3, 2, and take this in the left hand, 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a good way to relieve the tension. Bottom voices of the right hand are obviously just going to be 2, 1. Okay? Let's try this together now. recommend practicing loudly to build strength, both with that and with this, because then when you lighten them, it feels more effortless. Let's go over a little trick that I like to use. With these chords, what I'll do is